Hi everyone, welcome back. I am excited for today's video because I'm doing a little story time, and I'll be sorting some M&M colors while I do it, so you'll have something relaxing to watch. I promise I'm not going to do like a ton of eating of them. It's really just sorting. I might taste test one or two. I may keep that in, I may not, but this is not an eating video per se, so nothing to fear about that. But not that there's anything to fear, I just know some people aren't into that, and I don't do eating food videos. But anyways, if you can tell by the title, if I'm able to fit it in, I have a story time about my first tattoos. And yes, my first tattoos being plural. I got 5 tattoos, which were the first tattoos I've ever gotten. So that's all that being said, they're very dainty, so you could kind of chalk it up to being one complex tattoo if you wish. But I would love to talk about my first tattoo experience and why I got 5, how they felt, the designs. I do have up close footage that I'll show when I go over each tattoo set. And hopefully it will be helpful for anyone who might be thinking about getting tattoos. But if you don't care very much about it, that's totally fine. Hopefully the peanut M&M sorting will be fun for you. So, I hope that you enjoy this video, and I will do a quick overview, high level. So, I have, of the tattoos, I have some sprinkle of stars on my shoulder up here, which I might have to do an up close footage for you to really see. I have this like galaxy system, solar system that's like linear. I then have a Sagittarius sign, that's my sun sign, and it's got little stars. And then I have a crescent moon on this wrist, and then I also have a crescent moon on this wrist, but it's in the opposite direction, so you can kind of see. It feels very Sailor Moon. So I'm just gonna kind of ramble along. I don't really have like a core script or anything. It's very casual, but hopefully it reminds you of a friend chatting with you and telling you about her first tattoo experience. So I hope you enjoy. So first, let me get the peanut M&Ms all put together. So this is the bag. It is sharing size, although this is definitely a large bag. It's not the largest bag, but it's a big bag. I'm going to be very gentle with the crinkles, I promise. I'll do a few crinkles. So, this is the bag. It's got a seal. Ooh. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Okay. So, this is the bag that we will be opening. I'm going to open it up, and that's probably going to be pretty loud, so I'm going to do it and cut that clip out. Never fear. So I got the bag open. A hot tip if you have long nails like I do. If you have a bag like that, because I learned the hard way, like this, where you like have to peel it open, but it's like a Ziploc. Just open it like a chip bag, you know? So open it from peeling back the sides, and you don't have to use your nails, which, trust me, it did not go well for me. I didn't break a nail, nothing like that, but it was just very frustrating, especially when you're hungry for peanut M&Ms. Yes, I did buy 2 bags of these, and I already ate one of them like the other week. I had a really bad cold, so you know what? That's my truth. I had to, enjoy myself a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour out some of the candies. I probably won't sort the whole bag, but a majority of them. Okay, so I'm gonna dump them out. Okay, I just decided to dump the whole bag. Okay, set that aside. Hey, M&M, if you want to sponsor me, DM me. No. Alright, so I'm just going to move them around. Ooh, this looks so fun. Alright, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I just want to preface, I will be eating all of these, so it's totally fine that I touch all of them. I won't eat all of them right away, I promise. Savor them. Okay, let's jump into the tattoo story. I had to do some nail clicks. These are like one of my favorite sets I've ever worn, so I had to do that. Okay, let's get into the story time. So how about I just start sorting. I think I don't see a lot of red, so let me try and do the reds first. I wanted to get tattoos for at least the last 5 years, seriously, but at least since I was 18 / a teenager in high school, I really admired tattoos, so I have been thinking about this for quite a while. I'm really glad that I did not get tattoos when I was 18, because that was almost 10 years ago, and I'm just a very different person than I used to be. Of course, we're all very different when we grow up. So I'm really glad I waited, but that being said, I think when you're 18 and I think a part of the reason why I didn't get a tattoo is because I was afraid, and not like necessarily because of the pain, but because of what people thought of me. And I'm just really bad at making decisions for myself. I feel like I really have to rely on other people's validation, which can be really hard. But as I've grown older, I've really kind of grown into my decision-making skills. And I'm really proud of how far I've come to make decisions for myself and really go after what I really want. So I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Okay, I did all the reds. Look at that. I'll just move them up a little bit. Right there. There we go. So, I've been wanting tattoos for a while. I was hesitant over the years and never really got up the courage to actually do it. I think a part of me felt like I couldn't really be someone with tattoos. I know that's kind of silly, but I don't know. It was like a part of me knew that that was who I was someone who could have tattoos, and then at the same time felt like I was unworthy. I know that's very introspective of me, but that's just how I am. It's all very spiritual in that sense, but I really got over my fear a few months ago when I felt like one of the many things this past year and what COVID primarily has taught many of us is how sometimes life is short and you should just go after what you want. Especially if it really doesn't concern anyone else. Like, tattoos really don't concern anyone else except me. And the ones that I choose are for me, and no one really has to, like, it doesn't really affect anyone else. Thankfully, I have a job where that's not really an issue. I think most jobs now are pretty, like, fine with tattoos. Like, it's just not as a big deal as it maybe was decades ago. Maybe it's still an issue now, though. I could be wrong. But in my workplace, I'm generally wearing long sleeves a lot of the time, or I work from home. So generally a lot of people don't even see them. But even if they could see them, I don't think I would care. And I'd probably move to a different job otherwise. Alright, I'm going to choose another color. I think I'm going to do brown. So, I finally got up the courage to get tattoos, and it's scary because I feel like it's something I had to decide to do and on my own, and I was nervous, but I just decided to do it. One of the other reasons I really want tattoos, which is more of like a personal reason, other than just I like the way they look and, you know, the aesthetic, is I have this like scar on my wrist. Many of you are probably able to see this in my videos, but this is actually like a skin condition caused by an immune disorder that I have. It's very rare, it's very weird. I can't even remember the name, to be honest, because it's like 7 words long. I think it's primary cutaneous marginal zone B-cell lymphoma. I'm pretty positive that's what it's called. I wasn't joking when I said it was 7 words. It's essentially where I used to have, like, imagine like a mosquito bite. I know that's kind of gross, but imagine like a mosquito bite or a bug bite, and then it becomes like really irritated and red, and it looks like a red bump. It's called a lesion, and that's what I used to have here, and it's because of a blood disorder that's caused through the immune system, hence the lymphoma aspect. It's technically a cancer, but it's not life-threatening. It's not like the cultural term of cancer, like there's no stages. It's very much benign, is that the word? It's dormant, it's not life-threatening. So I call it more of like a disorder versus like cancer, even though it's technically a cancer. And I technically got treatment, or whatchamacallit? I forget what it's called. But it's like the cancer treatment people get when they really have cancer. It's a similar thing. I basically get steroids injected, a specific steroid injected into the lesion, and it causes like this crater effect in my skin. I won't like show you guys up close because I know it's weird. But you know, if you've seen it, that's what that is. And it's a scar that I have to live with for the rest of my life, most likely. Like, there's really no way to like cover this up with surgery, I think. I'm almost positive. And it's only right here, like it's nowhere else in my body. It's just my blood freaks out, my white blood cells in this wrist for some reason. About 5 years ago, that's what happened. So I think a big reason why I also didn't get tattoos was because I felt like my skin would freak out on me if I got tattoos, and I just didn't want something like this to happen again. But I think what really pushed me was that, this is a very rare, specific condition. Tattoos are perfectly normal, and as long as they're clean and healthy, you should be fine. So I really just decided to do it. And you know what? Like, if anything, this specific condition I've experienced in the last few years, getting multiple injections per year to reduce the lesion and try to make it go away, even though it left a scar in its place. If anything, that's taught me sometimes things are not as we think they would be, and we can adapt and live, or we can let it stop us from living as best as we can and enjoy what we have. So that's why I decided to get tattoos. If anything, to be courageous about it, but also now I have beautiful artwork to look at whenever I look at my arms instead of just like a scar, And I think a lot of people with scars tend to do that, try to cover them up or use something else to distract it, because in a way, this scar, this, permanent thing on my arm wasn't my choice. So choosing to get really pretty tattoos that I really like felt like I was getting a sense of my own power back, my sense of choice, I'm sure that probably resonates with some of you. But yeah, I mean, this is nowhere near anything more like a physical disfigurement. It's not that dramatic. I understand that. But it is hard to live with. I do feel self-conscious about it all the time. And it reminds me I am not like 100% perfect, but I think many of us can relate. Many of us, 100% of us are not perfect. And we shouldn't be, I guess, valuing people based on whether their skin looks perfect or not, obviously. But I really enjoy my tattoos sort of distracting me, or not even distracting, but allowing me to really embrace my body in a unique new way, in a more beautiful way that I feel, again, that sense of power, having that back. So, anyways, that was like a long spiel. But, yeah, I finally decided back in, I would say, end of July, August, to get tattoos. And I started off by just first searching tattoos I really wanted. And that's very difficult. One of the reasons why I got 5 for my first tattoos ever is because I couldn't decide on just one, and I didn't want to just walk away with just one. So I really, during the search process, decided to go ahead and pick like 4 or 5 tattoos that I really liked and that I could live with. Like another part of me helping me make decisions was, I don't really know what I want a lot of the time. So I decided on the ones that didn't really have deep meaning, because I didn't want to have to think too hard about a meaningful tattoo, because I feel like they're meaningful in and of themselves. They're meaningful simply because they exist, and that's, I don't know, enough for me personally. I'm sure other people with tattoos of really meaningful things, those are so special, I'm sure. But for my first time ever, I didn't have anything like that. So I really ended up going on Pinterest and Instagram and bookmarking, saving all the tattoos that I really liked, and then kind of narrowed it down to a few that I really wanted. And I went with a more astrology, galaxy aesthetic. That's really something I've always loved, like geometric, spacey, like galaxy, stars. I just love that so much, and I feel like that's the aesthetic I really want to incorporate. I'm open to other types of tattoos as well, but for now these were the ones I'm really leaning towards, and they are dainty tattoos, right? But I just couldn't decide on one. So what I did next was, oh, we need to move on to a new color. I'll do orange next. Okay, so let me move these over. So what I did is, after I chose a few, like I saved them in my, photos, etc. What I decided to do was go ahead and find a tattoo artist in my local area that had the artwork that could achieve the tattoos I was looking for. Now, I wasn't really wanting them to replicate exactly the same tattoo, but I wasn't upset if they stuck to a pretty standard version of it. Like, obviously a Sagittarius constellation is going to, it's very specifically one kind of thing, but there's different ways the tattoo artist can interpret, right? So I was very open to interpretation and communicated that with my tattoo artist. But I essentially found one in my area. I basically researched an Instagram, like my county, town, and then tattoo artist as like a hashtag, and I was able to find her work. And she was very close by to me, so I DM'd her and we talked back and forth via our direct messages, and I shared with her the 4 to 5 tattoos I really wanted to get, and that I was really looking for at least 4 of them. I kind of considered it 3 because I wanted these 2 crescent moons for sure, and then I wanted the Sagittarius sign, and I also wanted this like solar system piece, and I threw in the stars on the shoulder, but I was really only set on like at least 4. So we decided, she gave me like an estimate, roughly, and she said it would take about 2 hours total, like the whole thing, the whole session with her, and I was very surprised. But they're very dainty, so she worked very quickly, and it was about 2 hours exactly. It was so quick, I was so surprised. Obviously the more complex the piece, the longer it's going to take, so I was glad that it wasn't really any longer. And I wasn't sure about the pain level, so I did communicate with her. It was my first time getting a tattoo, and I would be getting 4, so that if I couldn't stand the pain, I would probably tap out early, and she was very understanding. So I was very nervous, but super excited. I ended up booking her, and I got the tattoos, like, I want to say almost 6 to 8 weeks later, because she was booked out. And I'm doing green now, if you're wondering. I'll try to move it over here. So, I was so excited. I was happy with the tattoos I was gonna get. I made sure to get all the products I needed, like Aquaphor ointment to help it heal. I was very committed to making sure they healed well. I got this soap that is fragrance free that I cleaned my arm with. I think I did the cleaning routine for about 2 weeks straight, just because that's how long it took to heal. If anything, they healed very quickly because they're dainty. But finally, it was the day of tattoos, so I went, and I honestly, like, she was the first tattoo artist I reached out to, and I was nervous because you're kind of messaging someone and you don't really know who they are. but I honestly couldn't have asked for a better person. She was so lovely, so welcoming, so just made me feel so comfortable, and made me feel like it was not my first time there, but like I had been in there forever. And I just felt like that was a great feeling to have. She basically took all the artwork I sent her and made her own sketches and interpreted them differently, slightly. I would say most of it kind of stays the same because, you know, there's only so many ways you can draw a star or a planet. There's not really crazy ways to go about that. But her interpretations were unique and pretty, and hers, which I really wanted her to feel a sense of like her creativity would shine through. So, yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better person, and we then got started on getting the tattoos. So, I originally wanted, so I did want the crescent moons on my inner wrists in opposite directions, which, or at least I think she recommended opposite directions, so that was something she recommended. I'll start off with like what I got first. So we spent about 40 minutes doing the sketches and placement, or discussing placement, and then she actually started doing the tattoos. So basically I originally wanted the Sagittarius sign up here and this piece here to be like right here or something, and then the moons would stay on in her wrist for sure. And I didn't even think about getting the stars on my shoulder at all. But my tattoo artist convinced me to swap these, so I did the Sagittarius sign here and the solar system here. And I'm so glad I listened to her, because like I was so receptive of her suggestion, because I trusted her. And I think it looks so good the way that they're placed now. So originally she's like, oh, I'll start off with like the really tiny one, but instead she started off with the Sagittarius one first here. And you guys, I was so nervous about the pain, but honestly, I don't know if it's because they're single needle tattoos, I'm sure that plays a part, or, you know, the placements are pretty basic, like pain level isn't really high in your arm area for the most part. Obviously the elbow being the most painful, and fingers and all that. Oh, we're done with green. Okay, I'll move on to yellow next, if that's okay. So, she started tattooing me, and I've been getting a lot of injections due to my skin condition for the last 3 years straight, I would say. When I found out I had it, that I was diagnosed 3 years ago. I had it at least 4 to 5 years ago, but I wasn't diagnosed with it until 3 years ago. So I've lived with it for a while. But ever since I was diagnosed, I got a ton of tests. I got a PET scan, which is like a cancer scan. I got blood taken. It was a very awful time because originally they had concerns. They took like a biopsy of the lesion, and there were concerns about it being cancerous. Well, they didn't, you know, doctors, sometimes they say they're concerned, but you know, they don't really know until they do a bunch of tests, so I get why they can't really promise anything. And, you know, going through a cancer scare is probably one of the worst experiences I've had to go through. It's unfathomable to actually really experience having it, you know, a threatening version of cancer, a life-threatening one. So it was a very rough time, and I I don't really wish that experience on anyone. I am very grateful to be healthy and for it to not be serious, but it's just not a fun experience whatsoever. Yeah, so I'm sure many people can relate to that, and especially those who have had to actually deal with very serious versions of cancer, and it's not a good time, right? Anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little emotion. Okay, pulling ourselves together. This is the tattoo story. What I was saying, bringing this full circle, I get a lot of steroid injections into this arm. I think at one point I had a few of them, like the first time I got diagnosed. So I think I got like 12 to 15 shots, like needles in my arm in one session. And then over the years, I've had to go to a dermatologist every 3 months to get more injections. I haven't had to go in the last 6 months, last 6 months to 8 months, which has been great. Almost a year, honestly. So that's, depends on the steroid injection level. But anyways, I'm going to move on. So I was a little nervous about tattoos for the needle reason, but at the same time I felt like I was so used to getting poked and prodded with a needle that I almost felt like I could dissociate a little bit and not really feel it. You guys, getting a tattoo, it felt like nothing. Like this one, it sort of felt sensitive closer to my elbow, inner elbow. Like little scratchies from like a cat or something, but I don't know, I enjoyed it. It felt good, like it didn't hurt at all. And I was so surprised and pleasantly surprised and excited and like, oh no, I like this. That is not good for my bank account because now I'm gonna want more, which I'm not mad about, to be honest. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like, I was like, wow, this is great. I'm having so much fun. And she really coached, my tattoo artist really coached me throughout the process, really checked in with me every now and then. And, for a first timer, that was so amazing to have someone really check in with you and not like assume you can just take something, even though I was like, whoa, this feels great. Like, I don't feel any pain whatsoever. It just felt like someone drawing on my skin. Like, it didn't really feel painful at all. Yeah, that's really all I can say about that. But then we did this one up here. And again, it was pretty painless. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like, I wasn't really in pain at all. Again, these placements are like not in really high pain areas, so I understand that. And they're also pretty dainty, so she's not like painting in thick color, so I'm sure that's like a different sensation. We moved on, so we did the Sagittarius sign. I'll try to show a close-up of that. I really love it. It's basically just stars and lines, and then there's a little planet. It's like a little Easter egg hunt. If you find it, it's cute. And then we moved on to the solar system, which has like a little Saturn, Jupiter, I don't remember what that planet is. Some lines, another crescent moon, which this moon is like the opposite of this moon, so they're kind of facing different ways. And then another little planet. Another surprising thing is like the way your skin moves, like the tattoo can move with you. So that's just been an interesting thing to get used to, but I think honestly the placements were perfect. I didn't have her change any of the placements, like they were all perfect for me. So solar system. And then we moved on to the crescent moons in the inner wrists. those were like, they weren't painful as much as they stung, so there was a little pain for those, but they were in my inner wrists, which are more sensitive skin, right? And it did feel stingy, but it was very bearable. And you know, I don't really have to do it ever again unless I ever wanted to cover them up, but I don't really think that I would. So I think the wrists were probably the most painful out of all of them, but that being said, the pain was like a 2 out of 10, which is like not that bad at all. It was very bearable. And the whole time I was so excited to get tattoos and think of the end result. Like, the pain is but a moment, but the result would last forever kind of thing. And all I could think about was the result and how I would feel getting the tattoos at the end of it. So we got those crescent moons, and then that was basically it. We were all done. But my tattoo artist knew that I sent the shoulder sparkles stars, and she was like, hey, do you want to just get those? And she let me know how much more the cost would be. And I'll just be upfront, everything was $400. So 5 pieces for $400. Obviously they're very dainty, so you know, do the math of that if you will, but I feel like I got a very good deal for the amount that I walked out with. And I told my tattoo artist that I didn't want to walk away with just one tiny tattoo. I wanted multiple so that I could really feel like I had tattoos and see them and admire them. And I'm so glad I made that decision, to be honest, because I feel like just getting one, I would have really liked it and wanted another one immediately anyway. So ironically, after getting all of my tattoos, the 4 total, she's like, do you want to do the stars? And I was like, let's go, let's do it. So she hand drew them. I do have freckles, so she kind of drew them around the freckles, which I thought was very cute. And she basically hand drew them and then tattooed them on. And they're so dainty and pretty. Like, I just love them so much. I'll probably do it on my other shoulder eventually as well, or more on my chest. I don't know. I'm kind of like over the moon with the tattoos I have now, so we'll see. I'm kind of waiting right now to get more money and also plan for my next tattoos, or tattoo, depending on it. But yeah, so we did the little star sprinkles on the shoulder, and we call it like my baby sleeve because it's like a baby sleeve. It's not a full sleeve, obviously, but it felt like a baby sleeve. So yeah, basically that was my tattoo experience. None of them really hurt at all, except the inner wrists were like a 2 out of 10. The rest were just really surprisingly pleasant, and I had such a great time. It was such a wonderful experience with my tattoo artist, and the tattoo shop was welcoming, and the people in there. And yeah, I couldn't have really asked for a better experience for the first time getting tattoos ever. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if you are someone who has felt scared or indecisive, I'm here to let you know that the experience of you getting something beautiful like a tattoo is worth jumping into the water a little bit and not being 100% sure of what's going to happen, because you might be pleasantly surprised. Obviously, really make sure you screen your tattoo artists, check their Instagram, people who've gotten tattoos, their, reviews if they have any. I happened to find someone who was very well liked and trusted, and I didn't get really intense tattoos, so the healing process is just a lot easier. They are single needle tattoos, so they could easily more fade. That is definitely a thing, but I do think most tattoos can tend to fade over time anyway. And I really wouldn't mind getting them redone or refreshed. So it did, I don't know, the things people tend to say to make you feel like you have doubt, I'm just here to say, if you really want them, just get them. And it's your body, it's not really affecting anyone else. It's affecting your wallet, so just be mindful of that. But it's honestly one of the most amazing things that I've done for myself to really fit the aesthetic that I really wanted to embrace in terms of my style. And I just feel like I really did a lot this year to do that for myself. So I just want to remind everyone, you're worthy of taking care of yourself first and foremost. Your health, your well-being, whether that's physical, mental, or spiritual. You are worthy of being taken care of and enjoying your life and enjoying things that make you feel beautiful on the outside and the inside. And it's just so fun. It's so fun. So I'm excited for my future tattoo adventures. I really want hand tattoos, like finger tattoos, so I'll keep you posted. I just love finger tattoos. I just love them. I know my tattoos aren't everyone's cup of tea, but that's okay because I really like them, and I think that's all that really matters, right? And I hope that if anything, you enjoyed my story time and the different piles. Here, I'll kind of move them around. We have the blue. We have the yellow. It looks like there's a lot of blue, which is nice, right? A nice color. Although they kind of all taste the same. And then we have green. Orange is definitely the least. And so is red. They really skimp on the reds, you know what I'm saying? And then we have the brown. Okay. Look how aesthetically pleasing that is. Okay, very exciting. Alright, I think I'm going to try one from each color. If I include this, I include this. If not, you can skip ahead or stop watching if you don't like food sounds, but I'm not going to do gross sounds, I think. That's just not what I'm going to do. I do want to say I was inspired to do this video. I should have mentioned it in the beginning, I completely forgot, but I'm inspired to do this video by Peony ASMR. She did a video very much like this. I'll probably include it, but it was so relaxing and I watch it like all the time. I just love that some videos, like, obviously there's a lot of different types of ASMR that everyone really loves, most people enjoy, but sometimes you find the special ones that you just are obsessed with that maybe aren't that popular. Her videos are pretty popular though, but I don't see a lot of these types of videos, so I really liked it. I wanted to kind of do my own version, talk about my tattoos. I really hope you enjoyed that story and you learned a little bit more about me, so thanks for getting personal with me. So let me go ahead and try one from each color and I will give you, I don't know, like Peony at ASMR did this, so we'll see if I can tell a difference. Okay, that was good. Now, some of these sometimes taste really bad, like the peanut is off or something, like it's too burnt or something, but that was good. How about I just try one red? The red one was kind of sweeter. Okay, I'll try one green and then I won't eat anymore. That was good. Wow. I did have dinner like not that long ago. So I'm pretty full already. I'm good on candy for right now, but I'll probably be snacking on this into the week. Halloween is this coming weekend. This will probably be posted after Halloween, but just know that I enjoyed my candy. Thank you very much. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed our time together and enjoyed the sorting and my tattoo stories, of course. If you guys like story times or want me to sort things in the future, let me know. Obviously, I have a ton of video ideas that I really want to get through. I appreciate everyone's patience. I wish I could post twice a week, but I do work full time and sometimes it's hard just to get one out a week, but I'm doing so hard. I'm working so hard to make sure that that happens, because kind of like a healthy habit, you try to keep up. This is almost like my healthy habit. Making ASMR videos has been so wonderful and therapeutic and creatively wonderful for me that I just keep up the weekly posting simply because I want to. But all of the wonderful engagement and feedback has always been a helpful part of that process, and I couldn't really have the motivation quite like I do now without that. So I really appreciate and thank you all for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoyed this one or other ones that you like. So yeah, I really appreciate you and all that you offer, and your wonderful kind words and watching this video. And I hope that you have a wonderful night or day wherever you are. And if you're not having a good day, just know that I hope it gets better, and that you're worthy of being taken care of and validated and loved. And yeah, thank you so much, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your night or day, and I will see you in the next video.